Alright, what's up everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today we're going to be talking about the Golden State Warriors again and about how they have ruined their future. A lot of stuff has been going on the past few days about the Warriors and the young guys, Jonathan Kuminga and all stuff like that. We're going to get into, in depth, all of it here in this video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, and stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really helps out a lot. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. So if you do hit the content, hitting the subscribe button would mean a whole lot to me. Yeah, link to my Twitter and TikTok and stuff like that in the description down below. And yeah, I don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So we're gonna go back a few days, back to Thursday. Warriors are playing the Nuggets on TNT. Warriors have a big lead in the first half, and the Nuggets, they come back and have a big run. The Warriors cannot score in the last 6 minutes of the game, and the Nuggets, capped off by Nikola Jokic hitting a crazy shot, come back and win this game 130 to 127. Jonathan Kuminga starts in this game, plays only 18 minutes, finishes with 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists on 5 for 7 shooting. Doesn't play for a lot of the second half, and the Warriors eventually lose the game, and that brought up some comments the next morning from Jonathan Kuminga saying that he lost faith in Steve Kerr. He doesn't know if he can develop into the player he wants to be under this team, with this Warriors team. And that's been a case for the entirety of Jonathan Kuminga's career. He was a number 7 overall pick, high hopes out of the G League Ignite. In the first 3 years of his career, he just hasn't really gotten the opportunity. And it makes sense in a way because, his rookie year, the Warriors won an NBA championship, or trying to win an NBA championship. And that's actually the most amount of games he played. Played in 70 games that year, and he averaged 9 points, 3 rebounds. So it was like, all right, the Warriors still try to go for a championship, stuff like that. They play some of the young guys sometimes, but not a whole lot. But it makes sense. Then the next season, 2023, it's like, all right, a couple of the veteran guys aren't here anymore. Maybe Kuminga can get more acclimated to the system. He plays actually less games. He plays 20 minutes a game. He averages almost a little bit under 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. A lot of talk about, hey, maybe you should play Kuminga and Moody. They're first round picks, lottery picks. Maybe you should get more opportunity. Coming into 2024, no Jordan Poole anymore. The end maybe of the Warriors run. Kuminga should get more minutes. He's only gotten 2 more minutes. He's averaging 13 points, 4 rebounds, and assists, 50% shooting from the field, but he's not fully getting his full opportunity that he probably should be getting. And playing only 18 minutes in a game where he actually was playing good in is just like, what's going on? And it's funny that the next day against the Pistons, he plays 36 minutes, the most he's ever played, the most he's played all season, because Steve Kerr kind of had to, in that sense, he kind of had to play Kuminga a lot, because if he doesn't play Kuminga a lot again, then it looks like something, And then the next game against the Raptors last night, he only played 25 minutes, but that's also because they got destroyed by the Toronto Raptors, which is a whole other problem in itself. But this just kind of brought up a lot of the things, and it's been something that's been talked about for a while about the Golden State Warriors, about the young guys. The Warriors trying to build this young core for, potentially to help win with Steph, Clay, and Dre, but also to set them up for when Steph, Clay, and Dre eventually move on. We have this next group of guys, so we don't really have to wait a few years to be a tanking team and then get these young players. We can already kind of have them on the team and play, And that was the plan the last few years for the Warriors, especially ever since Jordan Poole broke out. In the 2022 season, they won an NBA championship with Jordan Poole as their 6th man. It was like, all right, we got him. We have the number 2 overall pick, James Wiseman, a couple years ago. We have 2 lottery picks, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, that are rookies. We have this solid young group and young talent. Steph, Clay, and Dre aren't going to be around forever. They probably only have maybe 2 or 3 years left in them as a whole unit together. Let's try to build this team up have these young core guys, kind of start getting more and more acclimated to rotation. They're around a good system around Steph, Clay, and Dre have won 4 championships, so they have a lot of experience. They can pass on so much knowledge to them. And then eventually, once those guys kind of fade out, we have Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman, whoever else we get. And we have this young core that we could still compete with for the next few years. That was the plan. In your head, you think, yeah, that's a smart idea. That's a good idea. But, things always, sound better than they actually are. And this was one of those examples where it sounded great, but it did not turn out the way they expect it to, and it's hard. It's really hard because they're trying to build a young core while still trying to compete. It's just something that not anybody can do. Like thinking back of the teams that have done it, like the only teams that really probably have done it are the Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But then again, it wasn't like they kind of were forced into that situation, because the year where Jason Tatum got drafted and Jaylen Brown was in his second year, like Gordon Hayward broke his leg the first 5 minutes of the season, and then Kyrie Irving got hurt. So it was kind of like they had to force Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Terry Rozier to play big minutes, and they dominated that playoff series. They took LeBron. They were one win away from going to the NBA Finals. That was kind of their breakout. And so then the next, it actually kind of hurt them also, in a way, because the next year, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward comes back, the team doesn't gel together, and they disappoint and lose in the second round. And that's when Kyrie leaves. Gordon Hayward is kind of old, but then Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown take the next step. So that's kind of the only situation I could think of where the winning while also going with the young core and slowly blowing them in kind of worked. But then again, their plan wasn't to have Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving both injured. The plan was to have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum be the bench guys, kind of work in with the young guys, and eventually maybe those two take over. But it just kind of happened so fast because injuries, and they were kind of forced to play him. And it worked out for the Celtics. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are one of the best duos in the NBA. All NBA type players. And yeah, that's the only really thing I can think of. I mean, the OKC Thunder are doing it now, but the thing is, they didn't have old guys, and then the young guys came in. They were all young, and now they're starting to play, I guess. So I don't even know if that's a real example of it. But there hasn't been many examples where you have this core group of guys that won championship and stuff, and then you have the young players kind of sit back, and slowly build into the lineup. And then once the old players go, the young players can step in and take the crown. It hasn't really been that many situations, especially in the NBA. It's just super hard to do, because young players, the only way the young players can grow and get better is if they play, And so when you're trying to win a championship, you need to have your best players out there: Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond, Kevon Looney, Andre Iguodala. You need them kind of out there, because those are the guys that are going to give you the best chance to win the game. It's tough for guys like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody and Jordan Poole to really step up and be kind of their full potential if they're only going to get to play about 18-20 minutes a game. And sometimes maybe even less, depending on that. And when you get to the playoffs, it's they're young guys. Do you really want to trust them or not? They're not going to get consistent minutes. So it's just really tough. The best way for players to grow is actually being in the situation and playing real minutes. So it's just really tough. And the Warriors have they've tried going from Steph, Clay, and Dre to the young guys, and it's not working, and it hasn't worked, and they've kind of ruined their future in this sense. If you think about 2 years ago, 2022, they won an NBA championship, and Jordan Poole, their first round pick from a few years ago, that went from being one of the worst players in the league to building himself up to being a sixth man, eventually getting paid, $100 million contract dang near, or I think he did get $100 million. They built him up from being the 20th overall pick out of Michigan, shooting 30% from the field as a rookie, to then he was an 18.5 point per game scorer and was a prominent player in helping you win a championship at 22 years old. And you look at that and you're like, dang, they have this dude at 22. He's already doing this. He already has a championship and all this stuff. He's gonna be great. Especially building the system with Steph and Clay. He has to kind of they relieve pressure off him, and it's dang, he's gonna be really, really good. James Wiseman, number 2 overall pick out of Memphis, was a top guy in high school, going to college. Memphis, unfortunately, things happened where he didn't really get to play a whole lot, but the Warriors drafted him, and you're like, dang, the Warriors got a center now. Instead of having Andrew Bogut come on, they have a center that can give a different dynamic to them. That they can, pick and roll with him, but he can also do other things. He can score, he can block shots, he can do all this other stuff, and he's super young. Injuries have hurt him, but, maybe he could be something. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, they got 2 lottery picks, 2 guys that, highly touted. They come in, and they could both, provide different things. And, looking at 2 years ago, this young core was looked at as, really good. Dang, the Warriors got it all, man. The Warriors just cannot miss, right? But yeah, now we look at it now, and it's like, dang, like, what is their future going to be like after Steph? You know? James Wiseman is gone. James Wiseman, you got to trade him away because injuries, he couldn't stay on the court. And also, when he did play, he just couldn't figure out the system. Because James Wiseman isn't a player the Warriors don't need a James Wiseman type of center. James Wiseman's the type of center that give him post touches. You know, and he needs his little fadeaways and hook shots and score down low and stuff like that. The Warriors don't run that type of system. If you're a center of the Warriors system, you need to be someone that sets screens, rebounds, and block shots occasionally. And once in a while, you know, get a put back layup or something. But the Warriors need a center that doesn't need the ball. Kevon Looney is completely okay with not taking a shot in the game, but he's going to rebound, he's going to set screens, and he's going to play good defense. And that's why he's been a starter forever for the Golden State Warriors, you know? So Wiseman, that doesn't work out. Jordan Poole, after the championship, we get the whole Draymond Green just sucker punch Jordan Poole for whatever reason that happened. It's like, you know, it's past us now. But Draymond Green just punches the life out of Jordan Poole. And now Jordan Poole is kind of like in this weird system where it's like, yeah, like, I like it here, but like, this guy just punched me, and now I'm kind of, he lost his confidence. And now it's like this tension in the locker room and tension, everybody's talking about it. And now Jordan Poole's kind of like, I don't know what, like, where my place is or what to do, all this stuff. He has a good year statistically last season, but it just doesn't hit the same. And that sucks coming off the Warriors just paying him a big contract, you know? And Jordan Poole's just not the same type of player he is. And eventually Mike Dunleavy takes over and they choose Draymond over Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole gets shipped off to Washington for Chris Paul. So you had this 22-year-old young guard that's explosive, he could get buckets, and was a key part of you winning a championship. And 2 years later, he's out the door. He's gone. He's in Washington now, where he's not really playing good. So it's like, all right, we lost Wiseman, we lost Jordan Poole. We still have Kuminga and Moody, though, right? We still got, though. Jonathan Kuminga is mad about his minutes. Jonathan Kuminga, he's lost faith in Steve Kerr. Jonathan Kuminga isn't getting the playing time that he probably should be getting, and is kind of just stuck in Golden State, you know? Like, he's kind of just there, and Draymond's about to come back now, so now that means less minutes for him. So it's like, what do you do now? He's a 7th overall pick. He's shown some talent, but he's never going to get to fully show his talent on this team because Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green are here, and Andrew Wiggins is here, you know? And they are top priority over Jonathan Kuminga right now. And Kuminga's already in his 3rd season, and it's kind of like, all right, he needs to show something, and he's shown it sometimes, but he hasn't gotten the consistent opportunity to show it. And now it's looking like he probably won't be a Warrior at the end of the season. Moses Moody, 14th overall pick. He's shown some things his first 2 years. He's in his 3rd year, and he's not really playing. And Moses Moody, and now his management is coming out and saying that he's kind of frustrated with his time, his inconsistent playing time, you know? And which I feel for him, because I think Moses Moody is a pretty solid player. The 3-point shooting, defensively, like, he's shown some things. When he does play, he's good. He has good minutes. It's just Steve Kerr doesn't play him a whole lot. And now he could be a potential move on the potential move. So, like, the Warriors have just really fumbled this young, like, going from Steph, Klay, and Dre to the young guys step up. Like, of those 4 young guys, 2 of them are gone already. In just 2 years, 2 of them are gone, and the other 2 are about to be gone because they're frustrated. And they're mad at Steve Kerr. You know? And now you look at this. Let's say Jonathan Kuminga does get traded for Pascal Siakam or whatever. Now it's like, all right, Pascal's a free agent. Klay might not be on the team any longer. Draymond Green is getting 33 years old and he can't stop hitting people. Steph is still good at 35, but he's slowly starting to decline this season in a way. Like, after this year, like, what do the Warriors look like after this season? If Klay Thompson does potentially end up going somewhere else, you know, if Jonathan Kuminga does get traded to the Toronto Raptors or somewhere else, it's like, what do we have left? Steph, Draymond, Wiggins, and what? Nothing. Nothing important. Nothing that makes you say, oh shoot, we gotta worry about the Warriors. Like, even this season, Like, it's literally been Steph Curry has to put on his backpack and help save this Warriors team, and it's not great. The Warriors are just not good right now. They're not in a good spot for now and for the future, and they've completely ruined this kind of future after Steph Curry era. Like, the after Steph Curry era in Golden State is scary in a not good way. It's not scary in a, oh man, they have Jordan Poole, Kuminga, Moody, why, oh man, that type of scary way. It's scary in like a, what's gonna happen type of way. Like, when Steph Curry's off this team, they're probably gonna be bad for a few years. They're probably gonna look like the Houston Rockets or the Detroit Pistons for a couple years, which is not a bad thing. It's just bad in what, it's just disappointing in what looked like was gonna happen 2 years ago to now. It's just completely different. Going from, we have Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, James Wiseman as the future, to now, yeah, we're probably going to win 15 games for another 2 or 3 years until we get a future star on this team. You know? And that's a big drop. That's a big disappointment. And who's to blame? A couple of different people. It could be Bob Myers. It could be Mike Dunleavy for trading away Jordan Poole and picking Draymond over Jordan Poole and giving Draymond $100 million. It could be. It could be Steve Kerr for not trusting his young guys enough and giving them minutes. It could be a lot of different things. You know? It is a lot of different things. It's not just a one blame on a person. You know, it's a group, it's a collective effort in this. But what I do know is that the only way really to fix this is let Kuminga and Moody play, or just trade them, I guess. Trade them and buy all in on the Steph, Dre, and Clay era right all the way now, I guess. Like, I don't know what else there is to fix it. You can't get Jordan Poole back. You know, it's not, you're not going to have, I mean, you're probably going to have a decent lottery pick this year, because you might, even if you do make the play, you're probably going to lose in the play to like the 10 or 9, being a 9 or 10 seed, you know? And so you could get a decent lottery pick there. You can get like a cool 13th overall pick, which could be something. And I don't really know what their pick protection is, to be honest, this year. So maybe they could not have a pick. Who knows? But yeah, the Warriors have fumbled their future. The Warriors' future is looking very, very dim right now. Yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, and also like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.